me, and so I decided I needed to stop posting about this topic. I randomly ended up getting an email from a news outlet asking me about if I knew of anything, and I had just gotten some information, and so I decided to share it with them. This information has not come out yet because I believe they're still doing research on it. My entire goal of making these videos here on TikTok was to figure out what was going on. What I uncovered was a lot deeper and darker than I expected. While I do think that there were a lot of truths in the content that I made earlier, I believe that there was a deeper reason for why the things that were actually happening were happening. There was no context, and that's what I was trying to figure out. I believe that I know the truth, but I also do not want to say it out loud until it is legally okay for me to say so, because I want the media and the news to actually break it before I do. I do not want to get sued, and I do not want to talk about sensitive issues that have not been confirmed. I'm sorry I stopped posting. I really needed to take a mental health break because this information was a lot for me. Again, I'm trying not to be vague, but I just can't say what I want to say until more comes out. I feel like I left you guys in the dark, so I'm sorry. I'm really trying. This was a lot for me. I am not a journalist. I live in Minnesota, and I like to talk about fun pop culture topics, and this was not one that ended up being that. You may have seen some more recent postings on news sites that have sort of changed tides about what this story is about, and all I can say is that the information that I found out is like that, but a little bit more deep. It hasn't been confirmed, but seeing what's been happening in the news, I feel like I'm on the right track, and I feel like it could potentially be what's going on. If it comes out, I will tell you and talk about it more in depth, but I'm waiting to get confirmation about all of this. I slept about 4 hours last night. I did go see the movie. Some of you guys wanted a review. Unfortunately for me, I found this information out about 10 minutes before I saw the movie. So it definitely made it a hard watch. But overall, honestly, I actually thought it was a pretty good movie. Unfortunately, now I believe some of it will be tainted by what's happening behind the scenes. I'm sorry if I've been kind of wishy-washy on here. When I found this information out, it really impacted the way that I felt about this story, and I really just wanted to get away from it. So I retreated off of TikTok. In fact, I've had the app deleted from my phone since this morning. So I have not read a single comment today. I believe more will be coming out soon, so I am expecting a lot more comments, and I'm expecting that, and honestly, I probably won't be looking at TikTok for the next couple days. Again, I don't know if what I found out is true, which is why I sent it to the media, but I'm waiting to have a story break and see if that is actually true information. Thank you guys for following and supporting what I'm doing, because this has been a lot. There are a lot of really powerful people. There's a lot of people involved in this story, and it wasn't officially what I thought when I first started. Please know that I am really trying to keep everyone safe, and that this is really not easy for me. I'm keeping all the videos up because I want to show kind of the timeline of how I found out information, as well as other news outlets are using them. And I don't want to have like a deleted video in someone's news outlet, even though I believe a lot of those videos may not have accurate information anymore after finding this information out. I hope you understand my reasoning. I'm really trying to keep everything legal and above ground, because that is in my own personal ethics. Thank you guys for watching. There has been more and more articles coming around, basically claiming that Justin is the issue here. For a long time, we didn't understand why everyone unfollowed him. We didn't understand why they were separated, but the truth is slowly being unveiled. This is what I have been trying to figure out this whole time. I didn't understand it. I didn't get what was going on. We thought it was Blake's fault. We thought that that was what's going on, and that we had, that she was taking over the movie for creative reasons. That's not what's happening. She took over the movie because of other things that were going on much deeper. There's a reason Ryan was on set, and it wasn't because they wanted to take over the movie. There's a lot of reasons why the press tour ran the way it was, and this will all be revealed in time, but I'm sharing things as I find them out. This is something I knew yesterday, but I still believe there's more to come. Unfortunately, a lot of people on TikTok will not want to believe this, but there is going to be more and more articles. There's going to be more and more people digging into this, and this is what I believe is actually happening. This is why I was so confused. It was like, what's going on? It doesn't make any sense. Now that there has been another side coming out, it makes sense. It's clear to understand more about what the context of what was happening in August. There's a reason that they didn't do any press together. That's why I was like, got me into it. I was like, why aren't they doing press together? It's so weird. It's because Ryan and Blake were building a legal case against Justin. And at the time, I remember there were rumors. I kept hearing rumors that there was a restraining order against Justin. Again, I have no idea if that's true or not. But I think Sony obviously just like separated them because of this. Ryan and Blake kept things so close to the vest, but there's lots of other people involved too. I got DMs from multiple people involved in all parts of the movie, extras to crew members to people that worked at the publishing house, friends of Coleen. I got messages from insiders who knew about the meetings with Sony. And so I was at this place where I'm like, I don't know what's true. People say I was really wishy-washy, but I'm like, how am I supposed to know what's true or not when it's just a bunch of DMs from people I don't know? However, there was one DM that I got that was so detailed that I truly believed it, and that is the one that is now, in my opinion, going to come to light with this lawsuit. They had to have spent a lot of time gathering proof, evidence. There's a lot of people that witnessed this. This wasn't just Blake and Ryan's name versus Justin. There was a lot of people involved. I think a lot of people kept quiet. All of the cast kept quiet because they knew the lawsuit was coming. They knew that there was a lot of legal stuff going on behind the scenes. That's why it was so weird. That's why everyone was so quiet. And it was all us on TikTok and in the news that were talking about it. It's because it was a legal case. That is why I was scared to talk about it, because I'm like, I think that this is eventually going to be a lawsuit. I was very careful with my words in a lot of my posts. If you scroll back, I had to keep saying alleged and guys, I know some stuff, but I can't talk about it because, first of all, sometimes this app acts like a groupthink where everyone believes the same thing. And then if there's a dissenting voice, they get attacked. That happened to me and I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was alone and that no one believed me. So I've been holding on to that this whole time. And now that it's actually coming out in the news, I feel like this is actually like such a relief for all parties to be able to share what actually happened and not have to remain silent. In my sense, I believe Blake. I believe that she was a victim in this, but I believe she had to remain silent because of the lawsuit, and so she couldn't defend herself. I'm not saying Ryan and Blake are perfect, but I'm saying that I believe that this actually happened, and that the message of the movie is to believe victims in a sense. It sucks that this was the entire movie's plot, and yet it's, I don't know. Believe what you want to believe, but this is what I think, and because I've had this information since August, I feel like it has really made sense to me why everything happened the way it did.